Good afternoon, fellow Outcast Traders, the crazy bunch. For tomorrow, I am looking for a 205 bounce. If it happens tonight, so be it. If it happens in the pre-market, so be it. As long as the price action does bounce off this 205 into this 202, 203 supply as well. I want to see that retest before we end up making another low. If not, a break above 203.33 would be more of an upside play. If it does break that 203 range, I would be looking into 208 to a 208.82, which was next week's target. Yeah, that happens to be just a small resistance range, not very big, but still resistance. I like to keep marking my resistance ranges. Another thing I could be interested into is a reject from this 202.50 and then retest this resistance trend all over again. But in order for that, we need to lose this support trend line off the hourly chart, off the hourly trend. So upside is my bias. I'm bullish, but I am open to downside plays. As a good day trader, you should be willing to trade both ways because market goes both ways. It doesn't just go up one way and then stay that way. It always goes up and then it comes down. I'll scalp the rest of the day. I normally take my trades from bell to half day, and then I'll scalp the rest of the day. But for IWM, reject 202, 203, or you break 203 into the upward move. Bounce 200 would be exceptional. Or yeah, whatever's. You know, it's what I want. So for SPY, we could be watching for demand bounce at this 561 support, or not demand bounce, but this 561 support, or a bounce from the top bottom of this wick right here at this 562.30. Anywhere between here. We could see for more of an upside move. If market wants to give us another reject, it would be roughly between this 567, 567.63, 568.03, all the way up to this 569.37. Targeting 570.37, 570.03. If we were to break above this 570.03 and close above it on the hourly chart, I'd be looking for 573.69 for another target. And if we were to lose this 560.17, which I don't think is going to happen, but 556.15 is the target for the downside move. I am leaning more bullish than bearish, but that is just me. It's not, doesn't have to be you. So let's just keep moving on, right? So either a reject from 568 to 567.63, or a bounce from 562 to 561.40, targeting the supply that we made at the end of the day today. For this is not IWM. For QQQ, I want to see how we hold this supply zone. If we were to hold above this 588.58, come on. There we go. 588.58. I want to see more of a push up into that supply zone that we tested up today. Is that 492.14, 493. In a perfect world, we were to break this 493.63, 502 is our next target. But another thing I would also be open to is if we were to come down and test this breakout as well. I wouldn't be happy about it, but I would be open to it. QQQ, I am not playing it. I haven't actually traded QQQ in like 6 months. But hence why my main trades are usually IWM and SPY. A lot of IWM. Just I like the fact I can buy a whole lot more contracts than SPY. But yeah, the profit either way turns out to be roughly the same, with SPY being a little bit more increased when volatility has its number. So if IWM is lagging, I'll be trading SPY. If SPY is lagging, I'll be trading IWM. But I will be using the 15-minute orb to determine my direction, regardless of my bias. If we were to lose the bottom of the 15-minute orb, I would be chasing the put. If we were to break above the 15-minute orb, I would be looking for a call. So I hope you guys had a great day, made a lot of profit, and a little recap, just since I already did all the plays. Little recap on the plays today. I did have it marked, but I messed up on the first video, so I ended up deleting it. So I don't know why, but my shit don't trade the way it does. Let's go here. See that's not even supposed to be there. Oh, there it is. Here we go. See, it's not even in the right spot either. There we go. So here's the bottom of the 15-minute orb. We ended up losing the 15-minute orb today, but I did know that we had that resistance trend break. So I wanted to get into the resistance trend break, and I ended up taking money, taking an entry a little too soon. I won't lie, I did buy in a little too soon. I saw these double dojis, I bought a little call. Not my initial play, but it ended up working out either way, regardless of which. Ended up averaging down 2 times. I averaged down right here at this bullish engulfing. On the 1 minute, it looks a little better, a lot more cleaner. But anyways, but I ended up taking a trim or an average at this bullish engulfing right there, because we have 2 dojis right here, showing a lot of confluence in the market, buyers and sellers fighting between each other. This is signifying that a lot of buyers are taking that trend market. And then we never really ended up breaking, because my price target was the 15-minute top of the 15-minute orb, but we never ended up breaking that 200. So I ended up holding, and my stop loss was about like 35% of the fucking contract. So came down, never lost I never got stopped out of the contract. But what I did notice is that when we're on the 1 minute chart, it's like scrolling. Yeah, 1 minute chart right here is that we had this dojis going on. Two gravestones, but still not bearish by all means. We still ended up closing a little higher than we opened in the open, and showing a lot of. I started noticing a lot of buyers in the time and sales, and versus the sellers. We ended up having this bullish hammer right there, and I went ahead and averaged down on my entry. For the first time, I averaged down right there. Ended up coming up again, and we still never broke that freaking trend. The stop, or my take profit anyways, which is pushing into this 250. I was going to take a trim at the top of the 15-minute orb, and then full exit at the 250 resistance. We never ended up breaking it, so I didn't really worry about it. Coming down into here, just keep in mind I did average down right here, so my stop loss did end up moving down a little bit further, keeping it at that 35%, which is a little bit of a high risk for today. But I was up for it because I had a really good feeling that we are going to end up making a bigger move in the market, since we did end up breaking out of the resistance trend line on the 1 hour chart or 2 hour chart. So we ended up coming down here. Noticed a lot of action, a lot of volatility into the market at this point. So I just kind of waited it out. I noticed that we ended up getting into this range. I did take this bullish engulfing as a signal for a reversal in trend. Being at it that we were pulling down, I did want to see more of an uptrend, which stop with a stop at this low of the doji at that 198.36. Ended up catching this bullish engulfing right here, and averaging down for the third time out of the whole play targeting this 250 range. We ended up trading up. I wanted to see a break above VWAP for a continuation to move up in price. And sure enough, we ended up breaking out of this range as soon as we broke out of the VWAP. I heard over the chat that Trump said it's a good time to buy stocks, and sure enough, we started climbing up even more. And about 20-30 minutes, I think it was like 30 minutes to an hour, he ended up saying again that the stocks are gonna really rally. They're gonna really rally now, and quoted. This is all alerted on the Discord as well. But we ended up taking. I ended up taking my first trims at this 250 range, which ended up making my contracts close to about 400%. I ended up closing on this second high off the flag. Full close at this flag, closing out at 560%, which was very, very good. It was an easy, from a $36 contracts per $36 per contract. I ended up closing each contract, or at least my runners, at 200 and 200 and something bucks. But it was a nice play. I did mark out the flag when we started making this flag. I did mark out the flag as the support line. We ended up coming down here, and I took a second play when I saw this bullish engulfing right at the support line, and I did state it in the Discord as well. I was targeting this 202.63, which was also my exit, so I had a full exit on all calls at 202.63, which was executed just fucking perfectly. Until I also noticed that once we got to this level, we ended up getting a little weaker in the market, and went ahead and bought a put on the retest of this 202.63 once we rejected pretty decently, which I ended up having to average down as well, but I also took out with profits. Okay, so yeah, this part doesn't matter from here on out. So I ended up taking out with profits. First put, I closed off roughly, yeah, right here. Remember that specifically. So I closed off on the first put right here. I think it was like 50% return on that. And then when we started pulling up, I really wanted to lean more into the put side again, because I noticed this confluence and then this bearish engulfing. So I wanted that retest of the top, and I even stated in the Discord I'm looking at 201 puts for 15 cents a piece, and I put a limit order and forgot about it. We ended up pulling up into this range. I ended up closing it, getting filled at 15 cents a piece on my puts, and sure enough, we hit 80%. As I was looking for a 201.50 range, 201. It's like 201 something. Yeah, this 201.50 range support, which was my target. We never ended up getting to that 201.50. I ended up holding on to it, and because I had my take profit at 201.50, and since we never got into it, and by this time I was already taking screenshots and marking all the getting all the screenshots for getting screenshots of all my entries, exits, and trims that I previously have made. I wasn't really paying any attention whatsoever to the freaking market whatsoever. So I ended up getting stopped out at break even, so it was not really that bad. Theta burned that contract, 15 bucks. You know, I think that contract, it was like 80%, so it was like 15 to 25. Yeah, 15 bucks to 25, $26. Or 26 cents per contract. I had a full close at 32. So never ended up reaching the 32 stop and take profit. So I ended up holding on to it until it fucking stopped me out, I guess, because I was a little bit too distracted. But that was the trade for today. I was just trading IWM. I really do enjoy trading IWM. It's a little bit cleaner and smoother, in my own opinion, versus SPY. Do trade SPY every once in a while, but I do lean more to IWM in some individual stocks. And also we added to Webull. We added to Webull. I know one of my admins added to Google, and then Transfer Energy was another thing, or Energy Transfer, which is ET, ticker ET. I bought into that as well. And what else did I buy? I bought a few more shares of Archer as well. Yeah, that was about it. I only bought a little bit more. I bought ET, and I bought Archer, ACHR, which is this Archer Aviation, which is this $8 was my buy limit, and then I had another buy limit down by the $5. But I'm still buying into it. I think honestly, if I were to stop buying our ACHR, would possibly be more into this 937 range. Once we break above that, I don't really buy anymore after that. This is one of my long-term holders, so I'm not really too concerned. I think that our Archer Aviation has a lot of potential for more of an upside move towards the end of the 5 years from now, because they do a lot of air taxi. So yeah, they do air taxi defense and whatnot. And air taxi is going to be a new thing. I know that for sure. China's already doing it, and then Saudi Arabia is already doing it, and some other places. But that's all for the video today. Just a reminder and a little disclaimer that I can't be held liable or responsible for any profits or losses that you occur during the trade of using my analysis. I hope you do your due diligence and study on how to day trade or study on how to find your own technical analysis. If you are wanting to learn on how to do this with a fantastic team, you could join the Discord. The link is down in the description down below. Also, the merch link is down in the description down below if you want to help support the channel. Hit that like, subscribe, and feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I'm not a financial advisor. None of my plays are recommendations. I do not advise you taking any of my technical analysis or ideas into your heart and executing it at your own free will. Keep in mind, I don't recommend you day trading. You will lose money, but it is a very fun way to make money, easy way to make money, as long as you know people that will teach you how to do it properly, or at least do it efficiently. And trade safe, trade smart, and chase the dream. I'll see you guys on Sunday night at 8 p.m. for our weekly watch list. I'll have six to eight individuals plus IWM, SPY, and QQQ for next week's levels. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. If you join the Discord, catch you in the live stream. If you don't, then I'll catch you on Sunday. Have a good night.